to Kidmissing TV. I am your host, Angelina Wilson. There won't be a poster for this case because this is more of an expose than anything else. It amazes me, but it shouldn't shock me that there we go. You know, it seems that racism and ignorance, are universal, unfortunately. This case takes place in Bowraville, New South Wales, Australia. New South Wales, of course, is a state in Australia, and Bowraville is a very small town. These children were Aboriginal. There were 3 of them. Police did not take the investigation seriously. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Police did not take the investigation seriously because they were not white. And when a new homicide detective came on the scene in 2011, he kind of looked around and realized that there were things going on that shouldn't. And he was later accused of misconduct because he was there for the families, doing his job. Because he believed in the families and wanted to help them, and he got in trouble for misconduct. I think it was eventually thrown out. Okay. The prime suspect was a white man who spent a lot of time hanging around the Aboriginal community, and they had taken him in as one of their own. And his name was Thomas J.Y. Hart. J is what they called him. H-A-R-T. He hung around the Aboriginal community. They took him in as one of their own. One of the victim's mothers, the youngest victim, he beat up because she was very pregnant, not by him, and he wanted to be intimate with her, and she said no. And so sorry. I think there's something starting to bloom. Pardon me. So he drugged and assaulted the mother, abducted and killed the daughter. This is what's been alleged. He drugged a boy's girlfriend and raped her, got rid of him. Now, like in the United States, they have what's called double jeopardy laws. Double jeopardy laws, or jeopardy laws, are a good thing in one sense. because there would be, and we all know this, cases where police would go after the same person and prosecutors would go after the same person to the point of harassment 4 or 5 times if they could. So we need double jeopardy to protect the innocent. But, excuse me, it's spring and something's trying to bloom. And my nose knows all about it. So I do apologize. But what it also does is if you've taken someone to court too soon, to trial too soon, or if you've later found absolute proof they did it, you can't take them back. So that sucks. I think that they need to be able to find absolute proof. If you have absolute proof the person did it, then fine, take them back. But you got to be careful because it's a slippery slope. They did get their jeopardy laws amended in Australia. These families. All right, I'm going to tell you about each victim at this point. I think that's so important. 16-year-old Colleen Walker of Sawtell, New South Wales, was in the rural timber town of Bowraville visiting relatives. She left the party in the Aboriginal community of Mission on the 13th of September 1990. Her missing persons reports, of course, were not taken seriously. Her body has never been located, although in April of 91, some of her clothing was found weighted down by rocks in the Nambucca River. On the 4th of October 1990, her cousin, 4-year-old Evelyn Greenup, disappeared after a party at her grandmother's house. She was last seen by her mother's side after she was put to bed that night, but vanished when she awoke the next morning. Her mother had clearly been drugged. She had felt unwell, ended up in a deep sleep. She woke up to find her clothes were removed. The little girl's body, her skeletal remains, excuse me. Holy allergies, Batman. She was stabbed in the head with a sharp object. On the 31st of January 1991, 16-year-old Clinton Speedy DeRoe went missing after a party, also in the Mission. Friends noted that Clinton appeared to be drunk that evening. That was noted as strange. He was not known to drink to intoxication. He was last seen on the morning of 1 February and had stayed with his girlfriend in a yellow Viscount caravan used by the prime suspect. When his girlfriend woke the next morning, again she found that some of her clothes had been removed, her boyfriend was gone, and the prime suspect was outside, claiming he saw Clinton leave around 5 a.m. A pillowcase from the prime suspect's caravan was found with the body, which was found in the same area in the bushland of Conquerguini where the little girl was found. Yeah. This is what the police said to the mother of the 4-year-old. Direct quote from her. The police kept telling me that my mother and I sold her, and I was so disgusted in the thought of what they were saying this about me and my mother. My daughter was missing, and it seemed like they just didn't want to find her. He had already gotten rid of the bedding, sheets, pillowcases, everything. Excuse me. Ow! That was my knee. Sorry. Hello, alarm. Many apologies. Anyway, um, police finally agreed that the disappearances were likely criminal. And after Clinton and Evelyn's bodies were found, it became a homicide. Hmm. So they couldn't try the two cases together because evidence in one case can't be used in another case in the same trial, I guess. Um, he was acquitted somehow by an all-white jury, no doubt. Um, the families worked really hard to get changes in their in Australia's double jeopardy law, which they have done. And my understanding is England's double jeopardy law just changed as well. Recently, more recently. So they need compelling and new evidence. And they didn't feel that the evidence that they brought forward to retry him under the new double jeopardy law was new because they could have had it. It was from one of the other cases. Ugh. That is the most frustrating thing imaginable. And I'm going to put a link to a documentary on the case that I watched that I got a lot of my research from, a lot of my notes. These families are devastated. One little girl has never been found. One boy is dead. His girlfriend drugged and sexually assaulted. A mother drugged and sexually assaulted, and her daughter is dead. These people are suffering. And the one homicide detective who stood up for them and had their back went to trial himself for misconduct, which I believe he was found not guilty for. But he ended up leaving the department. It's a shame because he was a good cop. I'm just devastated for them. This is an injustice that shouldn't go unanswered. If anything, he should have been found guilty of the murder of Clinton Speedy Duro. Because, or Dereaux? Dereaux. Duro. Um, the pillowcase from his home was found. His trailer was found with him with his clothes on top of it. By the time police got to his trailer, all of the bedding was gone. I'm sorry. I don't have any reasonable doubt there. And the pillowcase connects him directly to the crime. And I'm sure they didn't bother to check, do an exam on the mother or the 16-year-old that he assaulted, clearly. Otherwise, they could have had DNA evidence there. So, even in the 90s, they could have gotten DNA from semen. So, he wormed his way into the tight-knit Aboriginal community in this area and wreaked havoc on them and got away with it, in my opinion. And I encourage you to watch the documentary. Come to your own conclusion. My conclusion is I don't know how he was found not guilty for Clinton's murder, even if he was found not guilty for the little girl, because there wasn't necessarily a direct connection, even though there kind of was. I can see that. But I cannot see him not being found guilty for, at least for Speedy's murder, my opinion. So, again, this is all my opinion. You know how I feel about racism, about inequality when it comes to these cases. It just burns my backside. So, like I said, I will put the documentary, which I watched on YouTube, on in the description. Put the link in the description. Thank you so much for joining me. God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Sorry for the way I sound. Again, I have allergies. I don't know what's trying to bloom. There's still snow on the ground. Not a lot, but something's trying to bloom in this weather and this nice weather. It's driving my nose completely crazy. So anyway, God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will see you Friday. Bye, guys. Please subscribe. We can do this. We can make 750 by the 4th of July. If we take it in baby steps. So, bye, guys. God bless you.